how did you learn about YNAB and what makes it different? I found my way into financial services because I was helping a friend with her budget, and this was in 2015. Found my way into financial services, doing my thing 2016. It was in 2017. Two people told me about YNAB in the same day. And I was like, how have I never heard of this tool if I love budgeting so much? So two people told me about it in the same day, and I was like, okay, well, I need to look into this. It's a sign. I'm all about signs, right? So I looked into it, signed up for it, was starting to try to figure it out, and I I admit this, like, it was hard. There was a learning curve to it, but the way I like to explain it is there's sort of the old way of thinking about budgeting and the YNAB way. And the YNAB concept is what's called a zero-based budget, which you may or may not know what that even means. I didn't even know what that meant when I started budgeting, but the old way I like to think about it is you sit down on the first of the month and you say, "I expect to get paid $5,000. I'm gonna list out all my expenses. Here's how I think I'll spend it." And then you put that piece of paper away for a month and you come back in 30 days and you're like, "Okay, how did I do?" At that point, you can't change anything, right? What's done is done. What's spent is spent. You just have to say, "Okay, try again next month." Whereas YNAB is very much a real-time interactive system, which can be a good and a bad thing because you actually have to go in and use it and interact with it on a regular basis. Especially when you're just getting started, I really recommend you go in every single day just to start building that habit. These days, I don't go in every day only because there's nothing to do, which is then makes it no fun. So you just sit around and look at your budget, which I love doing anyway. But, so the YNAB way of budgeting is you can only budget the money you have right now. So if you have $500 in your bank account or $5,000 or $50, doesn't matter. However much money you actually have right now is the money you have to work with. So this is where it can be a bit of an eye opener, a little stressful maybe to start looking at that and you're like, wow, I really only have $500 until I get paid again. But then this is where it brings back that awareness level of, okay, well, what does that money need to do for me before I get paid again? I'll say that a lot. That is always one of the first question I like to ask people. What does this money need to do for me before I get paid again? So that totally depends on how you get paid. If you're self-employed, you may not know when that's going to be. But if you're on a regular paycheck, let's say so today's a Tuesday, let's say you get paid on Friday. You get paid every other Friday, and this Friday is one of your paychecks. So you know that $500 has to last me through Friday. And that's when you start looking at your expenses to see, okay, well, my cell phone bill comes through on the 18th, which is 2 days from now. So I know I need money for that. Maybe I know I'm going to need to put gas in the car to get to work for the next couple of days. But my rent's not due till the 1st, so I can wait on that one. So this is where you start to become intentional with what your dollars are meant to do. So YNAB, when I first started, they taught 4 rules, and they've shifted away from the concept of rules because rules are restrictive and strict things you have to stick to. They've shifted towards questions, but you'll still hear them come up, and I still reference them a lot. But the first rule of YNAB is every dollar has a job. So again, if that's $50 in your account or $500, every dollar has a job. So you know that of that 500, $100 is for my cell phone. I need 50 for gas. I need maybe 50 for some groceries before the week is over, right? So you start to assign things, give every dollar a job. And it really helps you get away from that mental bank account math where you look at your bank account and you're like, well, I have $5,000 in there. I should be able to buy a Red Bull, right, at the gas station this afternoon. Maybe, but maybe not. You don't know that unless you're looking at those numbers. And that's where YNAB helps you break it down. YNAB is basically a virtual envelope system. So if you're familiar with the old school, like our parents used to, you take out an envelope and you write groceries on the outside and you physically put cash into it. That's the exact same concept that YNAB is, but it's all digital, so you don't have to have cash. So you get to this point where instead of looking at your bank account and saying, "Do I have money for this?" you look at your budget and you look at that category in YNAB and say, "Do I have money for dining out tonight or to go to the movies this weekend?" And either you do or you don't. Again, now you're aware, yes, I do, or no, I don't. But you can also make the choice of, if I don't have the money there, can I move it from somewhere else? Is there something that's less important to me right now? Maybe maybe I don't want to buy clothes this month. I'm okay moving $20 so I can go to the movies this weekend. But now it's an intentional, conscious choice. So, long answer to a seemingly simple question: what makes YNAB different? But YNAB really helps give you the clarity over what exactly you have decided your money is for, but it also gives you the power to change it at any time.